straight. All right, we got to cover this one from all angles, some positives, some negatives. Let's say hello to Monty Poole, our Warriors insider.
Monty!
NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I'm Kareth Burke. Thank you for tuning in to Warriors Postgame Live, Toyota Warriors Postgame Live. All right, one of the things we need to start with, the Warriors were clutch. They've had 5 out of their last 6 games were clutch games. You can see and feel the fight. Monty, coming into this one, they were about 14.5-point underdogs.
Yeah.
So, did this game go the way you thought it would go?
Well, it went the way the Warriors had to make it go. We said before the game, make it ugly, stay close, do what you have to do. And obviously, one thing we also said was limit the turnovers. That second quarter, they had 9 turnovers in the second quarter. And so that was the comeback quarter for the Knicks. So, but the Warriors, for the Warriors to play, they played incredibly hard. The effort cannot be questioned. The judgment can. But, yeah, I think when you look at this game, you can say, yeah, they gave their all.
The Warriors made this a game. All right, coming into this game, I did not expect the game to go like this. I wanted them to fight, but you don't know because the New York Knicks are bigger. Size-wise, they are more dominant on the boards. They're healthier. They have their star on the court, Jalen Brunson. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns we talked about him. He's averaging 20 points a game this year. So they have their stars. And for the Warriors to make this a game, they came out in the first quarter. I thought Brandon Podziemski was masterful in the way that he was creating shots for his teammates. QP, Quentin Post, got some easy shots on the three-point line. I thought they did a good job on the boards. This is a team that dominates rebounding. And in the second half, I saw Guy Santos get on the offensive glass. I saw Gary Payton get on the glass. I saw Malafy get on the glass. I thought the fight was there. They just missed a couple opportunities to take advantage by turning the ball over and let the New York Knicks back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they had at one point a 21-point lead in the first half, and you knew that wasn't going to last, but your question was, okay, how's it going to be slipping away? And that second quarter is when it started to slip away. They got within 9. But when you have 9 turnovers in one quarter and the Knicks scored 24 points in the second quarter, 12 of them were off turnovers. So half their points came off Warriors turnovers. That's where the game started to change.
All right, so I'm going to say this. Brandon Podziemski, 25 points. Quentin Post, 22 points, 4 for 10 from the three-point line. Guy Santos, 20 points. Gary Payton, 19 points. I thought it was a total team effort getting into this point at all. They had the last shot to probably tie or win the game. So for the Warriors, I think you look at this game and you think, this is what we have. Brandon Podziemski had a chance to win the game there 30 seconds into down. You have Quentin Post had a shot to win to tie the game at the end. And this is with the Warriors who are banged up. Yeah. You have Steph Curry, Draymond, and the list goes on and on. For me, I'm inspired watching this game. I think the Warriors still have a lot of fight left, and they can get some wins on the road if they continue to play like this.
Warriors had that last possession, Guy to Post. Didn't have it, ended. And when you were mentioning the 20-point scorers in this one, this is only the 10th time this season that the Warriors have had 3 20-point scorers or more. And that's in a game without Steph, without Jimmy. But let's go back to something that Monty said. He said you don't question the effort, but you question the judgment sometimes. So where did you see? Because the Warriors have to play these games in the margins, and the margins are so thin.
Yeah, I thought they tried to make some plays that weren't there for them. Passes that you shouldn't make because of traffic, and shots you shouldn't take because of timing. Podziemski's shot there with about 20+ seconds left or whatever it was, came too quick in the shot clock. I mean, they had the ball for like 7 seconds, and he took up a 3, and it would have been nice to make it, but he didn't make it, and he gave the ball back to the Knicks, who guess what they did? They scored. And then it put the Warriors in a position where they only could tie the game with the last-second shot, and that didn't work out because they turned it over.
Whenever you have close games like this, you start to think about little possessions here and there, where you think about offensive rebounds that the other team got, fouls that the other team got, and then you think about possessions that you had that you just threw away. Possessions where guys dribbled off their foot, where you try to force a pass into the middle of the paint. You talk about the shot with Brandon Podziemski. I thought he was aggressive all night long. I thought he did a great job being that guy, being the facilitator. In the second half, I thought Guy Santos became the guy. He became a facilitator. He was moving the basketball. I got to give him a lot of credit because for being undersized, having the guard Karl-Anthony Towns doing a great job in the first half, the difference in the second half was Cat just went inside.
Yeah.
He realized, I'm 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
I'm just going to dominate this guy's on the inside. He started rebounding in basketball, had 8 rebounds just in the second half alone. If you think about the first half, points in the paint, the Warriors dominated 22-14. It ends up the end of the game, points in the paint was 46-44. It was still the Warriors leading, but obviously you can see that the New York Knicks made a concerted effort in the second half, attacking the paint, getting some free throws. All those things were when New York.
The Knicks also did a great job. I mean, you knew it was going to happen at some point. Their defense picked up. You know, that early defense was pretty sloppy, and they weren't doing a whole lot. And you saw it in that second quarter, and that's when things changed. In the second half, it was just commendable for the Warriors to keep coming at them. You know, the Knicks would score, the Warriors would score, and the Knicks would try and get a little bit of a lead, and the Warriors would come right back. So the Warriors showed heart, you know, and you want to see that from this team. You know, they're undersized, they're undermanned. Nobody expected them to win this game or even thought they might be close, and they managed to make it close because they played with the effort they needed to. They Gee energy.
Yeah.
Gee energy.
Gee energy. Listen, the Warriors embarrassed the Knicks in this first half, and I was so curious to know what would Mike Brown say to his guys at halftime, because it did look different. This did start to look like a tale of two halves, especially in that third quarter where the Knicks just turned it on. They out-rebounded the Warriors 15-1.
Yeah.
Okay, you can talk about the turnovers as well.
Yep.
But the Knicks were just doing the things that gave themselves way more chances, and the Warriors let them do it.
Yeah. It was clear that the Knicks were like, I think they did feel some embarrassment, which they should have. I mean, they got a full house. It's a national TV game.
Right.
And the Warriors are coming in there and doing this on their court.
A 21-point lead in that half?
Yeah.
Got to equalize that. That's what they did.
No, you said, what did you say, 15-1?
15-2.
In the third quarter.
You have to think that the New York Knicks do this to every team, rebound-wise. They average plus 10 over their opponents, plus 10 rebounds. So the way that they win and the way that I see that their advantage is the ability to have a Mitchell Robinson, who is one of the top offensive rebounds in the league, Karl-Anthony Towns, who's the second rebounder in the NBA. They just used their size in the third quarter. I thought they went away from that in the first half. Matter of fact, the Warriors did a good job defensively of forcing the New York Knicks into tough shots. You see them fading away, you see them falling out, and they forced Karl-Anthony Towns into the three-point line. Second half, I thought Mike Brown probably just told Karl-Anthony Towns, I need you to take your 7 foot behind, go get in the paint, stand in front of Guy Santos or Gary Payton or whoever it is, and just make plays from there. I thought he did a great job. He was masterful. In the third quarter, he was getting guys involved. He was passing the ball, some couple back and forth plays with some of the guards. They got some layups. They got going that way. But the rebound, it just shows the dominant size for the Warriors.
You saw in that third quarter, you know why Josh Hart was a favorite of Tom Thibodeau, and he's also a favorite of Mike Brown. Josh Hart is 6'4". In that third quarter, he grabbed 7 rebounds in the quarter. Whew. You know, he was working. He's one of those guys that, you know, if you want him to play 47 minutes, he'll play 48. You know, that's just who he is. He works, and so, that 15-1 margin in the third, well, not even a margin, that whopping in that third quarter, let the Warriors know that, okay, you're in our house now. We're not going to stand for this.
Warriors Nation News. Dub Nation, let me ask you something. What does it say about this team when a short-handed Golden State group walks into Madison Square Garden, jumps out to a 21-point lead, shocks the whole building, and still leaves everybody thinking, man, they might have lost the game, but they did not lose their soul? That is the story right now. The Warriors just fell 110-107 to the Knicks after New York erased that huge deficit, and the official game recap and NBA result both framed it the same way. Golden State was undermanned, but it fought like crazy and made a heavyweight team earn every second of that win. And that is why this game hits different, because the Warriors were not coming in healthy, not coming in comfortable, and not coming in with their full firepower. The official Warriors preview noted Golden State was already without Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler III, and Moses Moody before this Knicks game. And Warriors.com also says Curry had already missed 15 games because of patellofemoral pain syndrome and bone bruising in his right knee. Yeah, when you take that much firepower out of any team, especially a team fighting for position, most people expect a collapse, not a battle. But what did the Warriors do? They came out swinging. They played with energy, with edge, with that scrappy disrespect me and I'll make you pay kind of attitude. That is what should excite Warriors fans right now. Not just the pain of the loss, but the proof of life. Because if a team this banged up can still put a real scare into the Knicks on the road, then there is still fight in this locker room. There is still belief in this roster. There is still something here worth trusting. The official recap even described it as a short-handed team surrendering the lead, which tells you how real that early domination was. They were not lucky for a few minutes. They flat out took the game to New York. Now here comes the painful part. Because this was also the kind of game that shows exactly where the Warriors still hurt without Steph. Late game execution, possession value, shot selection, poise when the margins get thin. That is where championship teams separate themselves. And right now, Golden State is trying to manufacture that by committee. Sometimes it works, sometimes it almost works, and sometimes you feel the absence of number 30 in every single half-court possession. The Warriors' own site says Curry has missed the last 15 games, and every extra game without him becomes a test of identity. Can they defend enough? Can they rebound enough? Can they create enough? Can they close enough? Against New York, they answered some of those questions really well, but not all of them.
The encouraging part is that this group is still showing signs that the engine has not died. Warriors.com's homepage highlighted Kristaps Porzingis scoring 20 points in his first start for Golden State, and that matters because it tells you this team is still evolving, still experimenting, still trying to find combinations that can hold the line until Steph is back. Add that to the kind of gritty effort they just showed at the Garden, and now the conversation changes. This is no longer just about surviving. It is about building enough rhythm, enough toughness, and enough chemistry to stay dangerous. Dangerous, because nobody wants to see a veteran Warriors team get healthy at the right time. And the next opportunity is already here. Warriors.com posted the game preview for Golden State at Washington on March 16th, so there is no time to sit around crying over one collapse. That is the NBA life. You take the punch, you study the mistakes, and you come back swinging the next night. That is why I am still leaning positive on this team. Not blindly positive, not fake positive, real positive. Because effort like that, on the road, short-handed, against a bigger name opponent, tells me the Warriors still have heart, and heart matters when the season gets ugly. So here's my message to Dub Nation tonight. Be frustrated, yes. Be mad about losing a 21-point lead, absolutely. But do not miss the bigger signal. This team still competes. This team still scraps. This team still has young guys and role players willing to swing above their weight. And once Steph returns, once the rotation settles down, once the Warriors stop asking patched-up lineups to do miracle work every night, this thing can still turn. Maybe not pretty, maybe not easy, maybe not smooth, but turn? Oh, absolutely. That is why I am still riding with Golden State. The loss was painful, but the response, the energy, and the fight told me these Warriors are not done, not even close. Now I want your take, Dub Nation. Did this loss make you more frustrated with the Warriors or more confident that this team still has something left in the tank? Drop your opinion in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors Nation News, and stay locked in, because when this team starts swinging back healthy, the whole league is gonna feel it.